Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to your September 2020 love and relationship reading. Thank you so much for checking out the channel. This channel is brand fucking new, so it needs all support it can get. Please remember to like, to comment, and subscribe, as well as check me out on Instagram at claire.voyant.queen and Twitter at _claire_voyant. Please remember these messages are general, so they may or may not resonate. Please also remember that energy is vice versa, right? This could be about you, this could be about your partner. But thank you so much for watching. I cannot wait to get started. Hi, Sagittarius. Welcome to your September 2020 love and relationship reading. Thank you so much for checking out the channel. Let's get started. Tell me about Sagittarius. Tell me about Sagittarius for September of 2020. Tell me about Sagittarius. Tell me about Sagittarius for September of 2020. Tell me about Sagittarius. Tell me about Sagittarius for September of 2020. Tell me about Sagittarius for September of 2020. Okay. These feel nice and shuffled. Tell me about Sagittarius for September of 2020. Tell me about Sagittarius for September of 2020. Ooh, that one almost fell out. Tell me about Sagittarius for September of 2020. Tell me about Sagittarius for September of 2020. Okay. I want to wait till one falls out. Tell me about Sagittarius for September of 2020. Tell me about Sagittarius. There we go. We got two. I say we take it. Okay. All there is to love has been there all along. When you begin to find love in people and places where you haven't found it before, it's always because you've grown. You so rock the universe. What would love do? Do you know why it's so easy for us in the unseen to quickly pinpoint your whereabouts? You leave behind footprints of love. The universe. P.S. The legend of Bigfoot continues. I am like 99.9% sure that this was the card that came up in your last reading. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure this was the card that came up in your last reading, because all we did was we talked about it feels like you kind of have been walking this path, right? You've been walking this path with a purpose, and you've kind of been almost leaving footprints behind, and it feels like you've been affecting people along the way. You've been affecting people in such a positive way along the way. And that's what I remember from your last reading. And I think this exact same card came out for your last reading. So this is definitely a message from the universe. And I have a feeling, talking about you kind of walking this path, talking about how you've been a positive impact in everyone's life, and kind of going forward and going for your purpose and finding a deeper meaning in your path. I feel like you have stumbled across someone or something really, really great. All there is to love has been there all along. When you begin to find love in people and places where you haven't found it before, it's always because you've grown. Yeah, this path that you've kind of been on has really sent you on an amazing journey of self-transformation. And I feel like you are starting to fall for people that you probably would not have fallen for before. So let's pull some spirit animal cards. We will jump into this and kind of figure out what the hell's going on. This is really wild. This already had an amazing start to it. Okay, Sag. Tell me about Sagittarius for September of 2020. 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 This reading has put me in an amazing mood already. Tell me about Sagittarius for September of 2020. Tell me about Sagittarius for September of 2020. Okay. Sagittarius. Tell me about Sagittarius. Okay. Sag. You are the turtle. Your partner is the bee. In your emotional connection, we have the deer. Very loving, very nurturing. And in your physical connection, we have the beaver. Okay. We have some really cool energy already here. We have 2 cards. You might have some sort of water placement because you have water in your, in who you are. Your partner might have some sort of air placement because we have the bee there. The beaver is very watery, but it's also very earthy, right? And with you having water and the deer kind of being an earthy thing, we got this like water and earth thing going on, which is really nice. Feels very emotional, feels very stable, it feels very loving. So one thing we're going to do now that I'm going to kind of change about the channel is we're going to actually read these word for word because I think you're going to be able to take a little bit more away from it. So let's start off with the turtle. Let's see. Turtle. Okay. Turtle. Ancient soul, grounded, trusting, at home in the self. It is wonderful to be in the presence of a turtle personality. Like the beaver, wild guys, wild. Like the beaver, the turtle has a strong relationship with the earth and water elements simultaneously. This helps to ground and connect them to the deeper truths of life, no matter where their travels may lead them. Turtle energy is behind all great writers and storytellers as they collect life experience under their shells for later use. The most potent turtle energy helps us close all other books and begin to tell our own true tale. It does feel like I'm getting the impression that you're in your shell, like you're in your shell, but it feels like you're very comfortable in your shell. It feels like you're not using your shell as a way to hide or as a way to kind of isolate. It feels like you're using your shell just because it's homey, because it's comfortable, because you like where you are right now. And it feels really good. It feels really safe, feels really secure. It feels like you're in it for the right reasons. Let's keep going with the bee. Wrong way. Do. So close. I know it. Maybe not. Maybe it was the other way. Thank you for bearing with me. The bee. Earnest, hardworking, and democratic. The bee personality is a delight to be around, especially when there's a team project on the horizon. Bees love to work steadily and thoughtfully until the final task is complete. They are sensitive creatures, aware of many subtleties at once. Since they are artists at heart, they usually add creative details to the overall vision. For the most part, they have bustling and joyous personalities until they're too tired from all the work, and then they gripe, and then they sting. I'm also kind of getting the impression that this connection, whoever it is, it feels like it's a relatively new connection. It feels like it's new in multiple ways. For instance, like it feels like you just started meeting this person, you've just met this person, but it also feels like it's new for you in a way where you typically would not go towards this kind of individual. There's something new about it. It's almost like you're stepping into new territory, which is a lot about Sagittarius, right? Sagittarians are explorers. Sagittarians are knowledge seekers. Sagittarians put themselves in new situations constantly. So it feels like essentially you are kind of wow, I just said in a relationship. It feels like you're in a relationship with someone you typically thought you would never be in a relationship with. It's new in some sort of way. Whether you didn't find this person attractive before and now you find them attractive, or whether you just didn't understand or click with their personality and now you do. There's something new about the situation where you're kind of seeing things with different eyes. And also there's kind of this element of like artistic energy, right? Talking about how the turtle takes life experiences and putting it under its shell, talking about how the bee is very hardworking, right? I really love how it talks about how positive and how joyful the bee is. I really think whoever this is very positive. I really think whoever this is kind of making an impact on you, right? This bee kind of feels like it's radiating energy, it's radiating light, it's radiating love. And it feels like you're really picking up on that. It feels like it's changing you. It feels like it's almost luring you out of your shell. It feels like it's like a very lighthearted, like fun energy. It feels fun. It feels very fun. This relationship feels fun. But let's keep going and find out more. I really like this. I really like this a lot. Okay, we have the deer. Okay. Oh, no, wrong way. The deer. In your emotional connection, loving, intuitive, graceful, the mother. The deer represents the feminine aspects of earth energy. The energy is available to all creatures, regardless of gender, but is especially potent in new parents. So, if this is a relationship, you might be having a baby. That's pretty wild. During the first few days, they are fully present, nurturing, and calm. Their inner beauty radiates, and a sense of grace calms the room. A deer personality affects others in this way, drawing them toward a quiet tenderness. The deer card may appear when a birth or a celebration of new life draws near, or when a situation calls for absolute gentleness and compassion. Yeah, I'm kind of getting the impression that I really think this is more so your energy to your partner. I think that the deer energy feels more reserved. It feels less blissful and fun. It feels more reserved, but it still feels like there's the same level of love there, of like love and compassion. It just feels so light and so refreshing. It feels very good for you. It feels very good for you. I feel like you're in a very positive place and you're very happy. And the reason why is because it's with this person. It's with this person. And it feels like you typically would not be attracted to this type of individual for some reason in particular. There's definitely, this kind of motherly component to this energy where someone might be mothering the other person, caring for the other person, or vice versa. I don't know. Or it could be that you're kind of doing it to both of you. And there's also kind of, that feminine tendency as well. Really beautiful. Let's read the beaver. Okay. Turtle. On the turtle again. There we go. Beaver. Beaver, hard worker, loyal, tireless, family first. The beaver personality is a welcome sight. These good-natured and dependable creatures have infinite love and enthusiasm for family and express it by the way of the earth element, providing a home and financial stability. Although a beaver doesn't usually initiate a project, once started, they work steadily for weeks, months, or years to see it through. The beaver card appears when the task at hand requires your long-term, steady effort. It can also signify that it's time for some karma yoga, selfless service. Yeah, there's definitely this energy of, there's an energy of work, right? The bee is a hard worker, the beaver is a hard worker. They're both working towards completing projects, both working towards something long-term, something stable. And it feels more group-oriented, right? It feels like we're both putting in effort, we're both putting in energy towards this connection, towards this relationship, building it into something a little bit more structurally stable and structurally sound. I keep seeing this squirrel outside this window, jumping from branch to branch, and it is one of the most wild things I think I've ever seen. So squirrels might play a part in this video as well. But I don't know, I just had to say that. Anyway, but no, it feels very hardworking. It feels very like, God. I want to say like tirelessness, you know, like they don't tire. You're not tired. Like you keep working towards it, which is really great to see. Wow, this feels so great, guys. This feels really great. Okay, let's pull some traditional tarot cards. We'll kind of clarify this a little bit more, and then we will call it a day. Tell me about Sagittarius. Tell me about Sagittarius for September of 2020. Tell me about Sagittarius. Ooh, come on. Tell me about Sagittarius for September of 2020. Sagittarius for September of 2020. Sagittarius for September of 2020. Tell me about Sagittarius. Sagittarius for September of 2020. Tell me about Sagittarius. Sagittarius for September of 2020. Oh, okay. Perfect. Tell me about Sagittarius. Ooh, we already got one. Hanged Man in reverse. Tell me about Sagittarius for September of 2020. Tell me about Sagittarius for September of 2020. Okay, so the Hanged Man in reverse came out first. Hanged Man usually talks about, right, seeing something from a different perspective, right? The Hanged Man is kind of tied to the set of trees. He's hanging upside down. He's kind of trapped. He's also in the quote-unquote God position, right? So it's kind of talking about God's light, God's wisdom kind of shining through himself and kind of almost coming to some sort of mental epiphany or mental conclusion, right? And when he's in reverse, he's now untied. He has the ability to get off of this post, and he has ability to kind of see things for a little bit of a different perspective, see things in a different way. This is really about you. You might have Pisces in your chart. Your partner might have Pisces in your chart, but this is someone who's kind of seen things for a different way. I feel like you see something in this person that you typically don't see in other people, which is really interesting. In your current situation, Sagittarius, we have the Five of Pentacles in reverse. In your partner's current situation, we have the King of Rods. So your partner could be a Leo, a Sagittarius, or an Aries. Someone who's very mature, very much in their power, probably has a lot of projects they're working on, a lot of goals. Then in your past connection, we have the Nine of Swords. In your present connection, we have the Six of Rods. And in your future connection, we have the Chariot in reverse. Okay, this is interesting. So Five of Pentacles, right? Fives talk about conflict. Fives talk about whether it be an internal conflict with us, whether it be an external conflict with another person. It's some sort of like battle, right? Five of Pentacles is really talking about someone who's left out in the cold, someone who is neglected, someone who is shut out, right? But it's in reverse, meaning that they're going to essentially come into the light, come into the warmth. So at one point, whether it was with this person, which I believe it is not with this person, it was probably with a past person, it has something to do with essentially coming back into the warmth, warming up, right? Coming from some sort of very cold place and kind of coming back into the warmth. Which I really like. It's very nice. Very, very nice. It feels like you've done the healing, is what it feels like. Again, in your partner's position, we have the King of Rods upright. So someone who's really mature, someone who's probably incredibly attractive, someone who has a lot of energy, you know, a lot of passion, a lot of intensity, someone who's a go-getter, someone who has a lot of projects or a lot of goals that they're working on accomplishing, right? Someone who just like, almost like, I feel like I'm being shown like like almost like a captain of a ship, or like a captain of like some sort of like entourage. Like it's almost like someone who's like leading a pack, right? Feels like someone who just like knows where they're going. It feels really strong. It feels really great. This person, again, we have a couple references to Leo. Leo in the Six of Rods energy, Leo and King of Rods. You might be dealing with a Leo. Again, there's that Pisces aspect to it. And we also have the Chariot here in reverse, meaning it could be a Cancer. But those are some of the placements I'm seeing. In your past connection, we have the Nine of Swords, which really talks about a lot of anxiety, right? A little bit of depression, a lot of mental turmoil, a lot of mental torture. It's the card of nightmares, the card of bad dreams, the card of dreams. So it looks like we went through a period of anxiety, right? Which is probably why this Five of Pentacles is here, right? At one point we were left out in the cold and we were really feeling burdened, like mentally drained, mentally burdened. But now we're kind of coming back into the warmth and we're kind of over experiencing this card, right? In your present connection, we have the Six of Rods upright, which really talks about victory, right? Which really talks about success. It's coming from the Five of Rods. We just had a battle, right? We just had a lot of conflict, and this person won, and they're triumphant, and they're marching, and they're going forward, right? And so there's this energy of like success and like feeling really great about where we are right now. It's very passionate. It's very intense. It's very loving. I really love this. I really love this. In your future outcome, we see the Chariot in reverse, right? And the Chariot really talks about kind of traveling, really talks about movement and momentum and going forward, right? And when it's in reverse, it's kind of halted. It's not moving. It's not kind of going places where we really want it to go. I don't necessarily think this is a bad thing. It could be that this relationship is not necessarily it's not necessarily going forward. It's not necessarily progressing, but it's also not like backtracking either. It's not necessarily a stuck energy. It just feels like it's not, it needs a little push is what it feels like. It just needs a little push to get it going. Again, kind of talking about the beaver. Remember, the beaver does not initiate projects, right? It doesn't start the project, but once it gets the project going, it's go, 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 go until it's complete, right? So it kind of feels like in your future outcome, what this relationship needs is it just needs a little push to get it going. And once that push kind of comes, this Chariot will flip right on over and this whole relationship will kind of like excel and it'll accelerate. It feels really good. Sag, this is one of the best readings I've had so far. I love it. Feels like, you've kind of, were shut out in the cold, experiencing a lot of mental torture, but you kind of went internally. You had a big change of perspective here. And you're kind of, whether it be on your past relationship, whether it be on your current relationship, and it feels like this person is brand new, feels like they're bringing a lot of positivity and a lot of warmth to your life, feels like this is something more long-term, more stable. It feels like there's a lot of caring and compassionate energy here. And it feels like this is a person that you typically would not go for. It feels like a person that you typically would not go for. But on the other side of the coin, I'm seeing them as being incredibly attractive to you. Incredibly attractive. They also might be incredibly attractive because you had a change of perspective. But whatever the case might be, there's a lot of victory, a lot of success here. And it just feels like in order for this to progress, it just needs a little push. But Sagittarius, thank you so much for coming to your September 2020 love and relationship reading. And I will see you next month. Thanks, guys.